tablet. It's almost as bad as the bird. From the WDWL TV multiplex, live from the newsroom, we bring you the pride of the station, the Two Grumpies, starring the grumpy old man. Oh, that would be me. And the grumpy vulture. Would you like to take your bow? Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay, back in your corner. No, we talked about this before airtime. You cannot sit here on the desk. Back in your corner, or I'll replace you with a crow. Ugh, damn bird. Look at the camera. There you go. Tablet. Greetings, friends. I hope you're warm and cozy. Right now in Cleveland, it's 19 degrees. Holy fuck. I just looked at the temperature not more than 5 minutes ago. It was 20. In a minute, it dropped to 19. And it's saying we're going to get snow. Oh, wonderful. Oh, damn Arctic blast that we're getting. Thank you, Canada. Yeah, it's coming down from Canada. The Siberian blast. Although, I'll take 19 degrees because I hear out in like Minnesota and that area, some areas are experiencing minus 40. Holy fuck, minus 40? Is it Nome, Alaska? Oh, I feel sorry for them people. Oh, man. Not to mention, I wouldn't want to pay their gas bill at the end of the month. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable weather. Unbelievable. You know, I made the comment to a friend of mine just before winter. I said, you know, I can take the cold. It's the snow that I really can't stand. I didn't mean 19 degrees when I said I could take the cold. Ah. I have to get hand warmers for my hand warmers for my hand warmers. Unbelievable. Okay. I have to apologize. It seems like yesterday I offended a few people when I mentioned when you become a senior citizen, most of your junk mail is for cemetery plots and headstones. I got a couple of emails, a couple of people I pissed off. They were like, "Oh, Grumpy, come on, Jesus. Can't you talk about something besides a depressing subject like that?" I'm only telling the truth, people. You ought to see my goddamn junk mail. And these cemeteries. I know I'm going to piss a couple of people off. I'll be getting emails again. These cemeteries, the way they word their ads, you know, you unfold it and it's like, claim your spatial spot today, you know. Wonderful landscaped areas going fast. I don't care what the landscaping is. Once they pat me in the face with a shovel, the last thing I'll be seeing is, you know, neatly cut grass and beautifully trimmed shrubs. Yeah. And hearing aids. Now, I didn't offend anybody with the hearing aids, but at least 3 times a month, I get advertisements for hearing aids. And they all come from this hearing aid shop in Lakewood. I don't know how they got my name and address. I never, it'll say, if you want, information, put your email here. I never put my email in anything like for hearing aids, headstones, cemetery plots, caskets. No. I don't know how they got my name unless some son of a bitch is, I'm going to play a joke on Grumpy. I'm going to, yeah, a bell tone hearing aids. I don't need a hearing aid. I can hear just fine. There's a lot of people that say, Grumpy, didn't you hear what I had to say? I was like, no. They're like, well, I guess you need a hearing aid. No, it's because I turned off my fucking ear because I didn't want to hear what the fuck you had to say. I don't need a hearing aid. I have selective hearing. And when people are saying things that are going to piss me off, I just turn off that. Yeah, bell tone, ringtone, whatever. I don't need a hearing aid. Thank you very much. Take me off your mailing list. And at the bottom of the email, it'll always say, if you want to unsubscribe, click here. I will click there. And then up comes, you have been unsubscribed. And then a week later, I get another goddamn email. How do you unsubscribe from these goddamn things? You hit the unsubscribe button, it tells you you've unsubscribed, and you're back again. This tablet. It's got a mind of its own. I'm afraid it's going to start playing on its own. Another thing, I have to apologize. If you're hearing the music, it's from one of the studios we leased out. And they were honest. They said, we're a music station. Okay. You're a music station. I don't want to hear your music from the end of the building. I mean, this studio is, about 500 feet away. They must be playing it at goddamn concert pitch. So if you're hearing it, I apologize. The newsroom isn't as well insulated as the separate studios. I don't know when my studio is going to be completed. The CEO told me he's finally going to break down and give me my own studio. Mine alone, exclusive to Grumpy and the bird. So it's under construction. I don't know when it'll be finished. When it's finished, believe me, I'm going to move in and make myself at home. I can't believe he's giving me my own studio. Although he did tell me, he goes, well, I gave you, your own desk in the newsroom. Yeah. You see that desk way back in the corner? Yeah. That's mine. Buried back in the corner. I'm so far back. If somebody needs to send a message, the receptionist sends a Sherpa. That's how far back in the corner I am. Although I shouldn't complain. I got a brand new desk, and I got one of these nice, fancy chairs. I got a brand new monitor. I a 34-inch curved one. I almost fell over. I was like, whoa. Yeah, I have a curved monitor, I have a new computer. Look at and these phones. These phones have about 50 buttons on them. The problem is they're all unlabeled. One of them's got to be to the CEO. I've been playing with buttons all day, although he's not here today, so how did I expect somebody to answer? But yeah, we got these new fancy, and they have a TV screen built in them, or an LCD screen. Yeah, you can do video calls right from that little phone. The screen's about that big. You would think that if somebody is going to do a Zoom call, it would transfer over to your desk monitor. No, because the desk monitors don't have cameras. The CEO told me if you want to do video chat or a Zoom call, buy your own fucking camera. Okay, I will. And I better not catch anybody using it. I'll buy my own camera. I'm used to buying my own equipment. Although, this is a donated microphone. I love this microphone. It's a Fafine or Fafine, Fifine, Fafine. Beautiful microphone. It really, I'm impressed with it. Give you a little more look at it. It's got a built-in shock mount. Beautiful mic. If the person that sent it to me is listening, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I do get gifts. There are some people out there that actually like Grumpy. And then there's some people out there that say, Grumpy, is there any way we can get your channel deleted? Oh, thank you very much. Oh, there is one thing I wanted to bring up. There is a friend who's also, I believe, a subscriber. I know he listens every night. He's in warmer temperatures than I am. I believe he's down in Florida. I just want to say, RB, you do some of the most beautiful artwork I have ever seen. I was looking at some of the stuff. Outstanding. I am impressed with your artistic talent, and I mean that. I wish I could afford one of your paintings, but with that said, absolutely stunning. Everything that I looked at, stunning work. I don't know. I don't remember if you took art in school, although the shit we took in school isn't anything compared to what you're doing now. I am impressed. I wish I can't draw a straight line with a pencil and a ruler. And to look at your artwork, absolutely stunning. It really is. As a matter of fact, I was telling a few of our classmates today because I have regular conversation every Sunday. We chat. And I said, I was looking at some of your artwork, and I said how impressed I was with your talent. And her and her husband don't believe in Facebook or any of that other stuff. So what I did, I took my cell phone and I took some pictures of your artwork, and then I texted them to her. And she's impressed. I told her, I said, I wish I could afford some of your artwork because it is stunning. It really is. I can't say enough about it. I hope that people appreciate your artwork as much as I do. And I hope you sell a lot of it. I really do. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I never was much for, art. I remember in school we had taken a trip to the art museum. And I looked at some of the artwork, and I was like, this shit's hanging in a museum. A couple of the paintings look like somebody stood back with a bucket of paint, threw it on the wall, and took a broom and tried to erase it. I guess you have to have an eye for art. But RB, absolutely stunning. It really is. I was blown away. I'm still blown away. I was like, to have that kind of talent. Like I say, if I had a pencil and a ruler, the line would still be crooked. So, I hope you have many, many, many more years of painting, because everything I have seen belongs in a museum. Really. Your work is that good that I would put it in a museum any day of the week. Like I say, there were a couple of pieces that caught my eye. I was like, oh man, that would look great hanging in my living room. But Grumpy is poor and cheap. We'll leave it at that. I'm embarrassed enough. But yes, friends, I went from kindergarten. I never knew he had that kind of artistic talent. Although, in grade school, middle school, high school, you don't walk around going, I've got artistic talent. You kind of keep that to yourself. Because if you walk around going, I have artistic talent, 9 times out of 10, you get your ass kicked. There were a lot of things you kept to yourself. Like me, I was always big on auto mechanics. I didn't walk around going, I have mechanical talent. Somebody to hit me ahead with a wrench, But I just want to say, again, RB, I am impressed with your artwork. I really am. And with that, we'll move on because people are starting to think, what are you, You hawking to be his agent or what? I couldn't sell artwork. I wouldn't know. First of all, you need to know history about it, like that goofy artist, what's his name? Picasso. You know, you need to go back from like his childhood when he drew his first stick figure. In order to be a good agent, you need to know these things. I could never sell art. Hell, I'm lucky to sell shit at a yard sale. So, with it being as cold as it is, Grumpy kept his ass in the house today, debating whether I should go to the store or not. I tossed a coin, go or stay. The coin landed on stay. I was like, thank God. The only problem is I have to go tomorrow now. Keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. My cat needs food. Now, the cupboard isn't bare. I'd like to keep a supply on hand in case I can't get out. Now, I need to get him dry food. When I went to the store on Friday, they were out of his blue bag Friskies. He'll only eat Friskies, seafood. That's the only one he'll eat. Comes in a blue bag. I call it his blue bag Friskies. Seafood blend. It's got tuna and salmon. And if I try to substitute something else, I'll pour it in the dish. He'll look at the dish. He'll look at me. And then he'll attempt to bury it. That tells me he's not going to eat it. Everybody like, oh, if they get hungry enough, they'll eat it. He would lay down and starve to death before he will eat any other dry food besides Friskies blue bag seafood flavor. Same thing. I've gone through, oh God, Friskies, Imes, you name it, Rachel Ray. Now, the only thing he will eat is delectables. And the delectables in broth. Don't bring him gravy. Don't bring him puree. Don't bring him anything else. Broth only. And that shit's expensive. Talk about a spoiled cat. Even the cashier says to me, oh, you're buying some expensive stuff for your cat. I was like, yeah, it's the only damn shit he'll eat. She goes, my cat's spoiled too. I says, oh, on this stuff? She goes, no, he'll only eat Imes. I said, well, mine was at the point where he was eating Imes. And it's strange the way cats are. 29 days of the month, he had Imes. Whatever flavor he ate. On day 30, he decided he's had enough of Imes. I dished it out. I think it was mixed seafood grill or something like that. I put it in his dish. I put his dish on the table. Next thing you know, the dish ended up on the floor because he tried to bury it, and I wasn't paying attention. And he knocked it across the table, bonk, onto the floor. That was my last. Believe me, there wasn't anything else to choose. He had the Friskies. He had Rachel Ray. He had what? I had every goddamn manufacturer of cat food. So my neighbor says, "Have you tried these delectables?" I said, "No." She goes, "Here, see if you'll eat one." And she gave me a packet. Yeah, they come in little packets. I scooped it out. Holy shit. He licked the bowl clean. I looked down at that dish and I was like, well, I don't have to wash it. So I started with the delectables. Okay. They were $8.99 a box. You get 10 delectables in a box. Then they went to $9.99. Then they went to $10.99. Then they went to $11.99. Now they're $12.99 a box. Talk about spoiled little bastard cat. Well, not little, he fucking 22-pound pig. Oh, I shouldn't talk about him like that. He's my buddy now. Oh, there's a story for you. I got him. He was 6 months old. He was an abused kitten. And I mean abused. The family that had him almost killed him. The kids thought it was funny. They'd take him up on the second story and they'd put him on the banister and they'd give him a shove. If that wasn't funny enough for him, they would hold him upside down over the edge of the banister because they had heard cats always land on their feet. Well, it is amazing. They do. 99.9% of the time. There are some times that I've watched slow motion videos. It's amazing how they can be upside down and they do that flip twist in the air and land on their feet. When they got tired of doing that, they would attempt to drown him. Each kid would get a squirt gun or a spray bottle, and they would chase him around the house until he was like a drowned rat. Well, finally, word got out that these kids were tormenting this poor cat. So he got taken away. I only deal with rescue cats. So I got a phone call from this rescue that said, hey, we know you're looking for a kitten because I had lost my 22-year-old. Would you be willing to try him? I was like, oh, a kitten, yeah. The woman went, this kitten's a mountain lion. I was like, oh. You know, I've never given up on a rescue. Never. This one came this close. Oh, he was the rottenest bastard. Oh, Jesus. Mean, nasty. I come real close to giving up on him. Matter of fact, the one day I had punched the phone number in my cell phone and I almost hit, dial. And I was going to tell him, hey, come pick him up. I can't hack him anymore. And then, I think he got the word, somehow mental telepathy, like, uh-oh, somebody going to get rid of my ass. And he slowly made a turnaround. Now, this took almost a year. Now, he is my best buddy. And what is cute, every night, without fail, he'll get up in bed. And he wants to sleep right here. If I don't move my arm, he will scooch in, moving my arm out of the way so that he can lay down. Then he will give me a 4-foot kitty massage, all 4 feet, for about 15 minutes. And, the intense look on his face. He's like, oh. Then he will roll over on his back and sleep with all 4 feet in the air. And it's hilarious because I've never heard a cat snore. Oh, when he gets in a deep sleep, he snores worse than a human. He also knows how to tell time. He will wake me up 5 minutes before my alarm will go off. As a matter of fact, I don't set the alarm anymore. That's how good he is. 5 minutes before my alarm would go off, he will get up on my chest, all 22 fucking pounds of him, and stick his nose right up against mine and start purring. Talk about scary. Open your eyes to have 2 eyes staring at you with a nose against yours. And then he knows time change. I don't know how on earth he knows. It takes him 1 day. 1 day. If we turn the clocks ahead, a day later, he will be waking me up on time. Amazing. Also, if I'm here in the studio and the mail comes, he will sit in the doorway and he will look towards the mail and look at me. And he will look towards the mail and look at me because he knows where the mail is deposited. I'll look down at him, and once we make eye contact, he will look towards the mail. He's telling me, mail's here. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But his nightly kitty massage is a riot. Because, once he gets going, all 4 feet are like 90 miles an hour. Unbelievable animal. But he was the rottenest son of a bitch I have ever owned in my life. Of course, I could see being tormented for as long as he was. He was not trusting of humans at all. I think he was reading my mind when I dialed that number. And I was almost hit send. Oh, God, I almost hit send. And I put the phone down and I was like, I'm going to give him another couple of days. evidently a little mental telepathy, because then he made a turn, like, oh, I'm going to be the good kitty. Now, it didn't happen overnight. It took a long time before I got the kitty massage. And my vet told me, with him sleeping on his back, he has given you an unequivocal 100% of his trust, because animals never expose their underside unless they are 100% trusting. And for him to roll over and stick all 4 feet in the air, I have won his trust. And I'll tell you what, this is one cat you could never replace. Now, I know I have owned cats all my life, and each one has its own personality. I have never had one with a personality like his. And I perish the thought the day he goes. Because it would be extremely hard for me to take on a new kitten, knowing what I had with him. Not saying I wouldn't, but I don't think I would ever have another cat with the personality that he's got. Unbelievable. But he come close. Oh, did he come close. He almost went back to the cat rescue. Although I'll tell you what, every cat that I have obtained from this cat rescue has turned out to be an unbelievable animal. Really. But this one was the rottenest bastard I have ever got from a cat rescue. Holy shit. See, most of the time, maybe the mother abandons the litter, or, they end up with 1 or 2 kittens that don't get adopted, so they go to the rescue. And what I like about this rescue is it's a non-kill rescue. They'll keep a cat until it's end of time. Very rarely do they get an abused. And oh, was he abused. Oh, but when I heard the story of what he went through, I asked them, can I have their name and address? And the woman was like, why? I said, it's because I want to go over and have a little conversation with the fucking brats. And she's like, oh, no, we can't divulge. Oh, I would have. I just started with the parents first and went right down to whatever the youngest one was and given them a fucking piece of my mind. Not to mention kicking everybody's ass. The parents had to know what the kids were doing to this kitten. And they let them get away with it. But finally the word got leaked out somehow. And this rescue showed up one day with the police. And they said 1 of 2 things. You're either going to voluntarily hand that kitten over to us, or we're going to file charges. At that point, one of the adults in the house said, "Wait, I'll get the carrier and we'll try to get the cat in the carrier." Well, I guess that took a bit. And they kept it at the rescue for about a week before they turned it over to me. And believe me, what the woman told me that kitten went through made my blood boil. How people can abuse a poor defenseless animal like that, and they had to think it was funny. The adults had to think it was, oh, it's cute. Look at, watch the kitty land on its feet. Those are people that for the rest of their lives don't deserve a pet. They don't deserve this day. How? Two adults could allow their 3 kids to torment a kitten and think it was cute. They knew what was going on. You can't hide that forever. And to allow their kids to do this and not punish them, they receive no punishment whatsoever. I don't know what goes through people's fucking minds to think it's funny to torment a defenseless animal. Like I say, it took me a year to 100% win his trust. And oh, he tried my patience. And I'm not one to give up. But I'll tell you what, I come really close one day. I really did. But now, he is the best cat on earth. The shit that he does is cute as hell. And I'll tell you, you know how they say if a cat is doing something wrong, take a spray bottle and, give them a little squirt here and there. Like if they go over and they start to scratch on your furniture. Oh, not this bastard. You come out with a squirt bottle, you can empty that goddamn thing. And he wants more. He plays it. If I leave it, if I put something in the sink and I leave water in it, I can guarantee if I come back in the kitchen, he'll have his feet in it. The one day I rinsed a bowl out. I had a soup bowl. And I left some water in it. I walked out. I come back in the kitchen. And he's got his ass in the sink with his front feet in the water. And he looks at me like, what? I'm soaking my feet. Last week, I put down a nice, fresh bowl of water for him. And then I filled a pan because I was going to make some tea. I turned around to get the tea bags. Now I hadn't turned the stove on. I just put the water in the pan, put the pan on the stove. I turned around to get the tea bags. That fast. I turned back around. He's drinking the water out of my pan on the stove instead of his fresh water in his water bowl. Like, this water is better. Yeah. Then he got pissed because I took the pan away. I was like, hey. Yeah. My tea water was better water than the water in his bowl. I'm lucky he didn't stick his feet in it. But yeah, the one day I cleaned the bathtub and I ran some water about 2 inches to double check the drain. Because, bathtub and bathroom sink drains don't take nothing to fucking clog them. So I put the water in the tub and I took the cleaning supplies out to the kitchen. When I come back in the bathroom, asshole was standing all 4 feet in the bathtub with that much water. All 4 feet. And they say cats hate water. Not this prick. If I tell everybody, make sure you put the lid down on the toilet. Because if you leave the lid up, he will get in there like a motorboat and splash all the water out of the bowl. All over the place. You can't leave water anywhere. The only thing he won't play with is his water bowl. He seems to know, oh, that one's for drinking. If you leave water anywhere else, he'll stick his feet in it. I've never had a cat that likes water like this idiot, except for his water bowl. Matter of fact, when he was drinking the water out of my pan for my tea, I was like, what's wrong with the water over there? This is the same water out of the same faucet. You saw me pour it. No. Unbelievable animal. Drives me crazy. I wouldn't trade him for all the money on earth. But he drives me crazy. And then, another thing. When he was that bratty, rotten-ass kitten, I had a couple other cats at the time. And he would fight with them. So I kept him in my bedroom most of the time. In order to keep him in the bedroom so that I could shut the door, I would give him a couple of cat treats. And I would put them on the far corner of the bed so while he's munching the treats, I could close the door and get out of the bedroom. I have to do that every day. I'll make the bed. I'll go to leave the bedroom, and he will dance back and forth on the bed. Cat treats, cat treats, cat treats. And if I don't give him a cat treat, he'll reach out and he'll grab my pants by the belt loop and hold on. Hey, cat treats. Then I'll give him a couple of treats, and he's fucking happy. But he won't let me out of the bedroom until he gets his treats. Because when he was a kitten, that's how I kept him in the bedroom. Talk about spoiled. And he'll only eat certain Friskies cat treats. Certain flavors. Now, Friskies, they got like 10 different flavors of cat treats. They come in a different color pouch, green pouch is picnic or something, blue pouch is seafood. He will only eat certain flavor cat treats. They have these new ones. They're called Playfuls. They look like the little miniature donuts. I was like, oh, a new flavor of cat treats. I'll buy him some. So I come home. I open the pack and I was like, hey, I got you some new cat treats. I put a couple of them on the corner of the bed. He walked over. He looked at them. He was like, you expect me to eat shit? I ain't eating this shit. He batted them off the bed. I ended up giving the Playfuls to my neighbor for her cat. He wouldn't eat them. Who's spoiled? Him or me? He's got the owner spoiled. You will give me what I want. Period. And that's the way he is. Animals, they're fun. Everybody's like, how come you're not a dog person, Grumpy? Well, 19 degrees tells me and tells everybody else why Grumpy is not a dog person. Because dogs require walking. There is no way I'm going out in 19-degree weather to walk a dog. Ain't happening. Or in rain. Or in blazing heat. No. Grumpy is not a dog walker. Hence, Grumpy is not a dog person. Now, for all you people that own dogs, God love you. Not for me. I don't hate dogs. I just don't want to own dogs. Oh, I love watching police videos with the canines. Oh, those dogs fascinate the shit out of me. Oh, my God. Talk about intelligent. Holy shit. I watched a video one day. There were 2 officers in a squad room, and there was a prisoner sitting at the desk, a guy they had just arrested. I hope I have a video going. If something told me it was going to shut me down. So, one officer walked out of the squad room and he left his dog. And the prisoner was not handcuffed. And he was sitting a couple of feet from the officer at the desk typing a report, taking down this guy's information. Well, this guy, the officer didn't search him well enough. He had a small 22 automatic in his sock. So he started out by scratching his knee. And then he slowly started scratching more down towards his ankle. And then finally, he pulled the gun. He no sooner got it halfway he didn't even get to spin his arm because he was going to attempt to shoot the officer at the desk. He had the gun up, and like lightning, that German Shepherd come out of nowhere and grabbed this guy by the wrist and had him down on the floor in the blink of an eye. How that dog knew what was going on amazed me. He saw that gun come out of that guy's sock, and before the guy could bring his arm all the way up, that dog grabbed him by the wrist and had him on the floor. Amazing. Now I see why they call them fur missiles. Oh, he was. He was up. He was laying on the floor, waiting for his master to come back in the room. And in the blink of an eye, he took that guy to the floor. Those police dogs amaze me. Unbelievable. There was another video I watched. It was a police chase. And they got to this dead-end street, and the guy bailed out of the car, and he ran into the woods. And the officer kept yelling, "Show yourself or I'm going to release my dog." And they heard nothing. And the officer said again, "I'm going to release my dog." Nothing. So the officer released the dog. And it was pitch black. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. And about 30 seconds after he released the dog, you heard this blood-curdling scream. And when the officer went back towards the blood-curdling scream, the dog had his teeth sunk in the guy's thigh. And he was shaking the shit out of this guy. And the guy kept saying, "Get him off me, get him off me." And the officer said, "I'll get him off you once you put your hands behind your back." And the guy was like, "I can't put my hands behind my back. The dog's biting me." He goes, "The dog will stop biting you when you put your hands behind your back." And the guy kept refusing, and the dog kept biting and biting and biting. And finally, as soon as the hands went behind the back, the dog let go. Needless to say, after several stitches in his crotch, he was then taken to jail. Even I was sitting watching the video going, "Good puppy, good puppy." And you know, they'll throw a ball. That's what the dog works for. That's how we know he did a good job. He'll get a ball or maybe some kind of dog toy. He don't get treats. No. He'll get a dog toy. "Here you go. Good job, buddy." That's what the dog worked for. A dog toy. And then he's happy. But Amazing, amazing animals. Police dogs, oh, utterly amazing animals. And with that, I don't know if the stream is still going. It told me it was ending. So, if the stream is still going, Grumpy is going to play the outro. And with that, friends, oh yes, we know where and when. It'll be at the WDWL TV multiplex somewhere around 7 o'clock. And with that, I bid you a good evening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And Grumpy, and the bird bid you a good evening. And we will meet again tomorrow night. Have a good